Hello, and thank you all for joining us with ADDASOUND at 1450. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy day to go ahead and just join us for a few minutes here while we introduce the ADDASOUND brand and talk to you all about it. I have Dave Petrosig on the line, who's with ADDASOUND. He is our U.S. rep. Been with them for most of the year this year as we West market, but he's also been in the audio headset industry for 19 years, plus or minus. He's been with such companies as U.S. Robotics, Polycom, Earwalk, Logitech, etc. Like, he knows this stuff. So without further ado, I introduce Dave. Thank you again for everyone attending. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot us a chat or give us a call at the office, or send us emails, and we'll be able to answer them either now or right after the webinar's ended. So go ahead. David, it's all yours.
All right. Thanks, Steve. And want to give a special thanks to, well, of course, Steve and Ashley at 1450 for helping to coordinate everything, do the behind-the-scenes marketing to make this happen. And as Steve said, thank you all for joining us today. We know your schedules are very busy. Your time is very valuable. We'll try to keep this short and sweet, but as educational as possible. So with that being said, let's jump forward to just talk a little bit about a company overview. Who is ADDASOUND? Well, we are a voice solution provider founded in Denmark. And actually, the company itself was founded by a group of ex-Jabra engineers. And I point that out because I want to make sure everyone's aware and comfortable with the fact that this is not a brand new company who is trying to figure out how to do noise canceling and echo canceling. The company was established in 2012, and like I said, by a group of ex-Jabra engineers. So we have a very long history and high level of expertise in the things that are important, of course, to headsets, which primarily is noise canceling. The brand itself, which you'll see here in a couple of minutes, was released in October of 2013. So I guess you could say this is our first birthday, given that it's 2014 now. We do have a Denmark-based R&D center, and we do have global marketing and distribution capabilities. Well, you're probably joining us and asking yourself, why ADDASOUND? Well, it's our job to kind of show you what our competitive advantages are. And first and foremost is audio. And I don't care if it's speakerphones or headsets or stereos or speakers. Denmark has always been known as the leader in acoustic technology for decades. As Steve said, over the past 18, 19 years, I do have a heavy background in audio, in both conferencing and headsets, and this applies to both technologies and markets. Denmark has been leading the way for a long, long time. Other competitive advantages include comfort. One thing that Denmark, or the Danish, are very proud of course, are the Nordic design. Something that is very important to making headsets very comfortable. Anyone who wears one all day long, it's got to be comfortable. It's not, get rid of it and try something else. Another competitive advantage that we have is our pricing and margin. If you look on an apples-to-apples comparison between us and our competition, you'll find that our products are not only at or below our competitors' price from a list price perspective, but also if you consider our discount strategy, add these two together, and that means better margin for you. And in this type of market with this type of product, that's very important and very hard to come by these days. Other competitive advantages, believe it or not, some might say it's not, but we believe it is. But being smaller than our competition means we have less layers. We don't require multiple meetings to make decisions. If you call Steve with an issue, a question, an idea, he can easily call me, and either I can make the decision or give him the answer, or if I can't or don't have the answer, I can go to my manager and have a simple conversation to make a decision. We don't have to have multiple meetings with multiple people from different locations. So we're smaller, but we're agile, and we have less layers and less red tape to deal with. Now, one of the other competitive advantages that we have is something that we call the world's first wired dual mic noise canceling headset. This is the Crystal 2852. We're not going to talk too much about this one throughout the rest of the presentation. It's not available yet, but it's coming soon. But this dual mic noise canceling technology filters out background noise to provide perfect call conditions no matter what the environment is. So we've talked about a couple things, but bottom line is, why ADDASOUND? Many of you out there may be selling other products from other manufacturers, whether it's Plantronics, Jabra, VXI, Andrio, whatever. But the bottom line is better quality audio, less competition, so your customers can't shop you as easily, and better margin. For those other manufacturers that I just mentioned, I'm sure you've all experienced the fact that when you do quote them, you find your customers go online or call other resellers and quickly come back to you to say, well, I just got this quote or found this price online. So that's not going to be the case with ADDASOUND. That being said, let's start talking a little bit about the products. So the first release that we've had are, of course, wired headsets. This is the Crystal series, and you'll get a feel for the numbering system that we have. But we're starting with the Crystal 2801, which is, as you can see, a monaural design with a directional noise canceling microphone to filter out background noise and highlight your voice. This is a wideband audio headset with 150 to 6,800 hertz, 112 dB max volume control, protein ear cushions for the best comfort available, and a lightweight design to burden the extended wearing fatigue. We do have a U-shaped memory headband. It's very flexible. We are also shifting to a rounded headband. Actually, I think that shift is happening right now. We have a 180-degree horizontal adjustable ear cap that you can flip around, of course, to switch depending on what ear you want to use, and a 270 rotatable bendable boom. We'll talk about lower chords later, but as you'll see, we do have a quick disconnect available on the models that we're talking about, and as I said, we'll get into lower chords later. The Crystal 2801 MSRP is $85. Next up, we have the Crystal 2802. Again, this is the binaural design, directional noise canceling microphone, wideband audio, 112 dB max volume control, protein ear cushion, durable, lightweight design, the 180-degree horizontal adjustable ear cap, 270-degree rotatable bendable boom. Again, U-shaped memory headband with the rounded version coming soon. $103 MSRP on the 2802 version. The next category up that we have is the 2821. So there's kind of two families. You have the 2801, 2802, and now we have the 2821 and 2822. A lot of what we've already talked about, but the biggest difference that you'll find is that we have a better microphone built into the 2821 and 2822 that'll filter out more background noise to make you sound more clear to the far end. The 2821 has a list price of $98, and the 2822 has a list price of $115. Now, if we look on an apples-to-apples comparison, the competitive advantages that we have, that, like I said, do come into play at price. The Plantronics H251N or the H111N, VXI Passport 10, GN 2020, GN 2120, you can see the Crystal 2801 at $85, and the Crystal 2821 at $98. Even with the Plantronics 261N through the Passport 21, GN 2025, GN 2125, you can see the price comparison with the 2802 at 103 and the Crystal 2822 at 115. The lower chords, we have 5 of them available. There's 3 that you're probably most interested in, especially if you're focused on speech recognition. But first and foremost is the D. Oop, if somebody out there could maybe mute themselves, I would appreciate it. Thank you. The first one there is a generic QD with an RJ9 interface. This is a direct connect to the headset jack on the bottom of your phone. This would work with phones such as Polycom, ShoreTel, MyTel, etc. But we do have vendor-specific or manufacturer-specific lower chords such as Avaya for your 1600 or 9600 series phones, IP phones, or the Cisco IP phones. But if you're focused on speech recognition, you're probably going to be focused on the DN1011, which is our standard USB 2.0 cable, or possibly the DN1021, which is the lower chord with the 3.5 dual millimeter jacks. These, of course, are purchased separately. Current promotions that we have going on right now is a reseller spiff. It started in September but runs through November 15th. This is $5 per Crystal headset, the 2801, 2802, 2821, or the 22. All that we require are proof of purchase and a claim form due by the 29th of November. There's also a sales contest that runs during the same time frame. If your company purchases 50 Crystal headsets from 1450, you will receive one Logitech mouse and be entered into a raffle to win an iPad mini as well. And I think Steve from 1450 has something to add to that as well.
Yes, I also want to reiterate about our month-long promotions for October that are ending soon next week. We are giving away your choice of an Apple iWatch, which is coming out early next year, or currently the Moto 360, depending on if you use Apple or Android. In order to qualify for that, it's every $500 spent with 1450, you'll receive an entry, but also we're throwing in there every ADDASOUND order, whether it's one headset, whether it's one cord, whether it's 50 headsets, 50 cords, whatever it is, will qualify into that as well. So it gives you additional opportunities to earn multiple entries across the board. And then we're doing as a separate drawing, every ADDASOUND order that is purchased this month additionally goes into a drawing for a collection of the ADDASOUND headsets that Dave started talking about today, in addition to a few other things involved. So stay tuned to all of our updates for that. And the last day of the expiration is on the 31st, next Friday.
Okay.
Go ahead, Dave.
All right. Thanks, Steve. And before we wrap up and move forward, I do want to mention, although we just talked about the 4 models that are currently available, there are models that are coming, and actually I do have samples available. There are monaural and binaural models coming out very soon that are USB only, that don't have a quick disconnect. So the USB cable is hardwired to the headset. You don't have to buy the lower cord. So if that's something that you're looking for, let Steve know, or let me know. And like I said, I do have samples here available that we can ship out to you for evaluation. Or if you're looking to evaluate what we just talked about, I have that available as well. In addition to that, that'll be before the end of the year, but after the first of the year, you will see some Bluetooth headsets coming from us. So although we are young and new with a small product line, very simple to understand right now, we are quickly expanding and growing that family. With that being said, I wanted to say thank you for attending. We'll open it up to any questions, and of course you see our contact information right there. You probably already have Steve's, but mine is right there as well. I'll keep an eye on chat, and actually I'll unmute everybody right now if you have any questions. And any questions out there? Do you have to buy a cord for every mic? Well, for the ones that we just talked about, like the 2801, 2802, 2821, and 2822, yes, you do have to buy the lower cord. But as I mentioned just a minute ago, I'm not sure when your question came in, we will have models coming very soon that only have USB connection, and you don't have to buy the lower cord. Have you any of you?
I have a question here, Dave. To respond to the questions that are out there, we do currently have stock of everything that Dave mentioned, all the lower cords, all the headsets that he mentioned, and then as the USB ones come available, we will have those as well, and of course the Bluetooth ones. So you can reach out to us, and I can give you more details about pricing and quotes and all that good stuff that goes along with all that.
Okay. And I see one question there about nuance and certification. We are talking to them. We are sending samples to them, so that's kind of a work in progress right now. Another question has come in about wireless mics coming soon, or wireless models. Not sure if you're just referring to Bluetooth or a 1.9 gigahertz model, but as I mentioned, Bluetooth will be coming probably after the first of the year. We do not have a 1.9 gigahertz model at this time and have no plans to develop one. I think there's a couple reasons for that. First and foremost, I think with the use of Microsoft Link and Cisco Jabber, I think it's obvious that they're trying to kill handsets. So I know, a wireless headset is very popular right now, but that might be dying in the near future. So we're kind of putting our focus in another direction. Any other questions?
I don't see anything on my side either. Of course, if anyone that's on the call wants to chime in and either send us a chat or email or even call us after we are done here, that way we can answer personal level and give you specifics if you need it. If anyone, like I said, just reach out to us. Thanks again, Dave, for explaining everything. Thanks to everyone who has joined. We appreciate that. We appreciate the feedback. Let us know how it went. Like I said, if you have any other questions or feedback or specific comments on this, that way we can help improve and serve you better.
All right. Thank you, Steve, and thank you, everyone, for joining.